shit, I done dropped it. Let me put these sunflower seeds down. One more. And then I'm done. Oh, they good. But this salt is on the way. Send me some water, honey. Yes, indeed. Come, get started on time. That way I can go on home. Back to what I was doing. And I'm sitting up in my room, man, in my business. Yes. Sitting up in my room. Oh, no, I must confess. I don't want to be done. Oh, but so it was a few bills that I noticed. Well, they already passed, and a few laws that went into effect. And generally, here they go into effect July 1. So I'm just speaking for Virginia. I don't know. I did look and see that other states like Idaho, was it Idaho or Utah or something like that, and they say that Florida already banned cell phone. They said that policy was the strictest one of them all thus far, because you can't do no type of social media on their campuses. They like you can't search nothing on the phone, the computers, no nothing. They don't want any of that on their school grounds. So Governor Glenn Youngkin, which by the way is a Republican, I'm not into all the semantics of it. Um, he called for some policies restricting cell phone use in schools in an executive order. Now, I want to say some talk about it pretty much started in, might have started before January, but they really got serious about it in January, because you got to look at a lot of different places, as far as like social media sites and things of that nature have been catching a lot of flack, because lately, um, a lot of people have been, hey, how you doing, Deandra? Have been upset about how how cell phone use has, you know, been a major distraction. And then honestly, they've been really talking about mental health, how the impact of using so much social media can potentially, really, really damage children's mental health. This is the angle that a lot of places have been viewing it, and now it's been like a lot of studies. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. And so with the different studies, they like, okay, well, we gonna start banning these things altogether. Okay, I always cover up. What do you mean? Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and help you with that right quick. Hi, up next with Lamar. So, yeah, and they said now it's official as of July 1. It's gonna be a phone-free environment, and I'm like, okay, okay. So this applies K through 12, and I think it can be really high. How you doing, Noah? I think it could be a real concerning thing because if you already look at what's going on right now, I get it. A lot of older kids are able to sit with their phone, scroll, text, shoot little videos, do whatever they want to do inside school. And it does take a big amount of attention from the classroom setting. I do agree that they should have thank you, Melanie. I do agree that this should have not gotten this far. I don't think, but see, the thing is, you know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be a little bit of of adjustment, like a major learning curve. Cause from what I can remember, it's been at least like 7 to 8 years of them even allowing like little kids having phones. I remember when I went briefly to where did I go? That was a few years ago, right? And child, let me get these hoes out of here. But a lot of, like I said, little kids, they were, hold on. Okay, I'm back. So it was so much of an issue with the kids. Child, I don't care about them being rude. I get them right on up out of here and keep it moving. But so with so many kids, it was crazy because it was probably like 2014 ish. So it's been at least 10 years. Oh my gosh, it's been longer than that. So the kids were having an issue with not being able to use their phone whenever they wanted to. So one young man, he went to go get the phone and grab the phone whenever he felt like it. And I'm just looking like, okay, this is a major issue because if they in like first grade and they able to grab their phone when they want to, and then if you say something to them, it becomes a problem. It's a whole different situation. So anyway, I used to wonder how in the world would it be if they did not have it. So moving right along, now with these changes, you got to think about all the smaller kids that had an opportunity to be there for a long time with those phones. Now it's like, how you gonna take my phone? And also, in the beginning, it started off as okay, in case of an emergency, they should be able to, use them. That spiraled out of control. Somebody being able to use it whenever they want to, and that has been a major problem. Like, that's not the only problem that they have as far as distractions. You got to think about a lot of behavioral issues. Think about the behaviors that are going to happen and escalate when you decide to tell somebody that's been able to use their phone for the last 10 years they can't use their phone. It sounds like it could be a lot of tussleization in the situation. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's going to be a time. That's going to be a time. So all of this is going to be happening moving forward. The good thing I can say about this state is when something is put into order, each and every city and locality has the ability to tweak it to make sure it works for them. Hi, how you doing? Is that Cage? So, say for instance, if somebody say, "Yeah, we can use that policy," but like, for instance, Arlington said they're going to have them put them in their lockers. I'm like, okay, that might be a little bit more easier for them to work with, as far as saying, okay, you can't have it on, you know, at all. But I just found it interesting because now, putting all that foolishness to the side, let's be real. I'm just concerned about how it's so much effort put into making sure that they can't have the phones accessible. And I'm just trying to figure out why now. Why in 2024? Because for at least the last 4 years, well, at least 3 years, there has been way more issues than that. And I'm getting, it's a lot of different things like academic scores. It's the higher level of truancy, because every year I know that certain school districts have to hire and maintain additional what do they call them? I guess they call them attendance officers or whatever now, to go, to the local spots where the kids at that don't go to school, or just to track and be able to attest for the truancy stuff, right? And I'm like, okay, they spending a lot of time just trying to get them in there. So now when you get them in there, they can't use the phone. And then this is a concern, and a lot of people might not like this. And honestly, I know I'm not for everybody. You mean to tell me taking a phone is at the top priority of the list, but you're spending time worried about what bathroom and who the bathroom and all that stuff, right? So you can do what you want as far as that, but now my concern, and like I said, I continue to have this concern. There are a lot of things that are starting to slowly be taken away from people overall. I'm just hoping this is not a way to take. I'm hoping the school districts that have the option to change or to use it in a way that, say, if they have a special location or a plan for where those phones will go, because I think it could be a good thing. Definitely, because for the small kids, they don't really need no phones like that. They spend enough screen time like when they're at home. I'm pretty sure they do. But the older ones, this is going to start to be a problem, because you got to understand, a lot of young people, this is what they do. They make various videos for different platforms. And like I said, I don't know, because some of these schools and these districts are moving real funny, and especially this year because of what's going on this year. I'm gonna say that. So it's gonna be a real interesting time to see how. I'm not gonna talk too much on it because I already know how it's gonna go down. But I just don't see it um lasting that long. I don't. I don't. I don't, because a lot of the education, let's just be honest, is outdated. A lot of the things that are being taught is outdated. Um, if anything, if they spent more time with some of the lessons, um, I guess expanding the young people's knowledge through technology, that would be a great move. Yes, the phone is a distraction, but we're in a whole different time. And they've already pretty much put it out here for us to use it. So it's going to be kind of hard to take back. Also, it was a lot of crazy things that were pushed in the public school sector that are starting to kind of come full circle as far as different rights and things being taken, and them ultimately making more decisions for your children than in other times, if that makes sense. How you doing? Smoke alarm go beep. I like that name. But I just feel like I really feel like this aligns with all of the other policies as far as them giving kids rights to make their own decisions in school settings without having to consult their parent. And not only that, the schools having more authority over your children because they're there, if that makes sense. I think this is starting to align, you know, with the phone thing because, again, with older students that have the ability to be more responsible, how does this play out for them? And that's not, I don't think that's fair because a senior, they just there finishing up whatever little classes they have. Some of them might be off doing whatever is work co-op or something half the day. They're not really sitting and yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna be okay with that. I don't think they're gonna be willing to just be like, oh, you can't come with your phone. I don't know. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I get it, but it's like you let the door open for 10 years, and now it's like, oh, we change our mind. You can't bring those here anymore. But you can use our landline. So they are messed up. And I was just talking about how the one here is saying this school year, starting this school year, you can't have your cell phones. That's K through 12. I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna work. It's gonna be some tussling. It's gonna be like for real when you really think about the some young people are not gonna be willing to get a phone up that easy. It's gonna be some people getting hurt. I'm just gonna be honest, and it's not gonna be good. But it's gonna be based on a overall decision. You know that some of the teachers can't do nothing really about. They just kind of gotta go with the flow. Um, it's just this is something that's been like a build up from all the other stuff that they've been allowed people to do. You're right. And that's the thing. Like, how can you come up with this type of rule of decision? Give the different schools their own discretion, because that's kind of how it goes in this state. Like different cities and stuff, they have their own discretion on their own variations of taking them out. And then you have to turn around and accommodate the people that need to use theirs. How is that possible? Wouldn't that be a distraction as well? Wouldn't that take away from the, learning? Like, if you got to stop and get five people their phone to go outside and text their mom or somebody right quick. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if some things go down, they just won't be able to use their phones like they have been. And I think that's concerning. I'm just saying, like the older, especially the older kids. Like I need to use my phone because I have really bad anxiety, so that's why I'm doing virtual school this year. Well, with you being in virtual, that's not a bad thing. Like, how would they know you're on the phone? You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying. So if you were inside the classroom and you had those issues, generally, you know what? A lot of times, some students will have like a 504 plan to help out with that. So with virtual, like a 504 plan will give you those accommodations. If that is something that helps you with your anxiety, generally a 504 plan will be put in place and everybody will know that. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said it will kind of create more behaviors because think about the behaviors that could be worse if they didn't already have the phones. And then now moving into a new school year, and you saying, "Oh, you can't have your phone." Oh, they gonna be cussing and tussling and turning that desk over. It's gonna be a whole situation up in there. I'm telling you, it's gonna be something. You know how like, and that's another thing. Think about some of the stuff that go on inside the classrooms that people would not know on the outside if they did not have the footage. I'm not talking about the fighting footage. Child, that's a whole nother topic. But in the event, if you had to protect yourself and defend yourself and say, I did this because of that, and this is and the third, that wouldn't even be an option anymore because now they're saying you can't have them. I don't know. I'm just glad I don't really have to deal with that. I just thought it was real concerning because, um, and there are a lot of young people that are doing virtual school. I've been homeschooling for 5 years, and you know, I don't know. That's wild. I don't know how. That's like letting something go unaddressed for a long time and then turning around and say, you know what, you can't do that no more. We changed up the whole setup. A lot of people don't do well with change. Some people okay with change, but some people do not have the abilities to adapt to saying, okay, I can't text. Because some people do, some people can't, like, really can multitask like that. Some people, got skills. But some people, they get distracted. But anyway, I just was talking about that and I thought it was real interesting because take care. Bye bye. Nice seeing you. But yeah, I'm getting ready to go. I was just trying to, I'm just going to sit back and pay attention and listen to see how this year goes with all these different changes as far as personal cell phone restrictions. Because it's going to be some tussling. It's going to be some tussling. But y'all have a good night. I'm going to go mind my business. Bye. Y'all be good.